It is an unprecedented time in college athletics. Starting this month, universities can pay players in sports directly after the NCAA resolved a legal settlement over the summer. But that means schools like our University of Minnesota are feeling a budget pinch as they navigate this whole new world. Here's Danny.
Jana, this week, University of Minnesota Athletic Director Mark Coyle told the Board of Regents that he's going to try to work to balance a multi-million-dollar shortfall this year, created largely by new expenses from revenue sharing. As of July 1st, schools like the University of Minnesota can spend up to $20.5 million this year to pay their athletes directly. That's after the NCAA resolved antitrust litigation last month, known as the House Settlement, named for former Arizona State swimmer Grant House.
I think everyone forgets the games don't happen without the athletes, and so I think they should get a bigger piece of the pie.
At the U of M, these new payments to athletes will make up 12% of the so-called pie, meaning the athletic department budget in fiscal year 2026.
We fully expect to continue to work with our campus partners to navigate our way through these changing landscapes.
At a Board of Regents meeting this week, U of M Athletic Director Mark Coyle said the House settlement is causing an anticipated $8.75 million budget shortfall.
This is part of the budget. They've been planning for it.
Sports columnist Chip Scoggins has written extensively about the revolution in college sports for the Minnesota Star Tribune.
This is the first time in history, we're talking over 100 years, that schools have been allowed to pay athletes directly. It is a new era.
The Gophers aren't the only ones trying to keep up with the House settlement. How much of a squeeze does this put on athletic departments across the country?
It's going to depend a whole lot on where you are.
Nellie Drew is a top expert in sports law at the University at Buffalo's Center for Advancement of Sport.
To the extent that you have donors who are willing and able to fund those types of situations, I'm sure there's going to be pressure from athletic departments upon universities to try to obtain those kinds of resources so that they can compete for championships.
Under the House settlement, football and men's basketball players, the two largest drivers of revenue, are expected to get the most money. That has raised concerns and legal challenges around fairness for female athletes.
Certainly one of the big questions is Title IX, which one of the flaws of the settlement, honestly, in my mind.
But individual schools can use their $20.5 million however they'd like. This year, the U of M says it will pay men's and women's athletes directly in 5 sports: football, men's and women's basketball, women's volleyball, and men's hockey, while adding scholarships to a total of 6 sports. It's not clear how much money each sport will get, though.
The general sense within the college sports industry is that football and the major conferences are going to get about 75% of that money. So that's 15 million.
The House legal settlement also regulates sponsorship money that athletes earn through separate name, image, and likeness deals with third parties, known as NIL. Today, the U.S. House of Representatives introduced bipartisan federal legislation to codify these NIL regulations. Jana.
The further we get into this, the further it makes my head kind of swirl. Danny, and I worry too, this would be a part of the recruiting process too. If a player is going to a bigger school thinking he or she may get more money there, a mid-level major like us, where do we fall?
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be really interesting to see where that plays out. The U of M's budget actually ranks right now in the lower half of the Big Ten. There's 18 teams in the Big Ten now. So the Gophers certainly trying to stay competitive. They have been very optimistic about their NIL deals through Dinkytown Athletes, the entity that does that separately, and now they have revenue sharing. So they feel pretty good, but remains to be seen.
Time will tell. Thanks, Danny. We'll be right back.